Like, a lot of times I feel much more motivated doing things for other people than like if it affects or has to do with other people. I think I definitely prefer living with others, but I do feel like there needs to be a period of time where like I live by myself in some ways to like be independent or to be reflective of like what I want to do with my future. Because I think for a very long time I've just been very like going with the flow, or like just let things happen as they do, and I don't take control. I don't take initiative. I don't think. I'm just like going along with it without thinking and not being proactive and stuff. No, I haven't been the house manager in a while. Yeah, like I've just always lived with people my whole life. Whether it was back home, I lived with my parents, and then when I moved out, I still lived with people. Lived in the offline TV house, lived in this house. And I've just always been surrounded by this, and it's like, I loved it. I love it. But at what point do I have to really start looking at myself more for like self-growth and just really evaluating me as like a person and what I want to do with my life and how I want to grow as like a person? And that's very hard to do when you're just being in the ocean of things moving. And you're just like letting yourself coast in the ocean. Like it's kind of in the water and going with the water. So I don't know. Okay, so I think that my problem is for a lot of my life, okay? Especially when I got to a certain point, I was just thinking like, oh, well, you can never plan what happens. Like a lot of the things that you have planned just goes like wrong anyway. It goes like a different way anyway. So like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel 4 years from now. I don't know how I'm gonna feel 2 years from now. And so I always let it kind of ride out that way. But when you let things ride out that way, it kind of could be irresponsible in like a lot of ways. You live too like much too nearsighted, like too short term, and you don't think enough long term. And sometimes the long term effects can have effects on like people you care about, or like what you want to do for your future, all these things, right? So you do have to have a balance of like thinking some long term, but I think I've always thought so short term, like in the moment this is okay right now, or this is okay right now, there's no blaring issues right now. But I'm not thinking about future issues. I'm not thinking about like how that fucks things up later, you know? So like you just really have to think about everything and like how the effects that everything can have. What about living by yourself for a couple of months like Sakuno does? Yeah, that's definitely something that could / probably will happen, where I am gonna live like off and just see how that is.